the photo that revealed God's message to the whole world. But when people saw it, they said, "What is this?" And today, we will tell you what the divine woman in that photo wanted to tell us all. A little boy was taking out the trash with his father. He never forgot the lessons he learned from the beggar, who turned out to be his father's friend. One day, when the young man was already an adult, he went to visit his father. As he entered the house, he saw a luxurious living room with expensive furniture and paintings on the walls. Suddenly, his father appeared and greeted him with a surprised look. "What brings you here? Haven't seen you in years?" he asked. The young man smiled and replied, "I wanted to see how you were doing and tell you that you raised me well. Thank you for that." The father was taken aback by his son's words and couldn't understand what he meant. The young man continued, "Don't worry, Dad. I know you've had a hard life, and that SYU taught me to always stay kind and helpful. I haven't forgotten that lesson, and I also know that true wealth isn't measured by money or possessions, but by the richness of one's soul. So don't think I'm here to judge you. Instead, I wanted to tell you that I'm proud of you and everything you've accomplished." The father burst into tears upon hearing these words and embraced his son tightly. "Oh, my boy, I didn't realize you had grown up to be such a fine young man. I'm so sorry for how I treated you in the past. I was too focused on making money and providing for the family that I neglected you. But now I see that it wasn't worth it. You're right, material things aren't as important as the richness of one's soul. Please forgive me, my son." The young man patted his father on the shoulder and said, "Of course, I forgive you, Dad. After all, you taught me some very valuable life lessons that I will never forget. And besides, I am happy for you because you've achieved great success and now live in a beautiful house." The father and son spent the rest of the day talking and catching up on each other's lives. The young man learned about his father's business and the challenges he had faced to make it successful, and the father listened attentively to his son's stories about his travels and experiences. They talked until late into the night, sharing their hopes and dreams for the future. As the evening drew to a close, the young man stood up to leave. "Thank you for everything, Dad. I'm glad we had this chance to meet again," he said. "The pleasure was all mine. Son, I'm so happy you came to visit me. Come back soon," the father replied. The young man nodded and left the house, feeling a sense of closure and satisfaction. He had finally understood why his father had been so strict and hardworking. It was all for the sake of his family and their future. As he walked down the street, the young man couldn't help but smile. He realized that his father's tough love had actually been a blessing in disguise. It had made him into the kind, generous, and successful man he was today. The boy noticed a poor homeless man and took some food from his father's bag and gave it to him. The father was very angry about it and scolded his son severely. The boy couldn't understand why his father had acted like that. He didn't think it was wrong to help someone in need. So he asked his dad, "Why did you get so upset?" "I just gave the homeless man some bread," his dad replied. "You can't just give your food to beggars. You should be ashamed of yourself. It's not right to help those who have nothing." But the boy still couldn't understand. His father continued, "You know, there are many homeless people around here. They just want to take advantage of you. Don't believe me, just watch." After that, the father went to the store to buy groceries for the family. The boy stayed home alone, and soon a beggar came to the door, asking for food. The boy opened the door a little and said, "I'm sorry, but my father told me not to give food to strangers." Then the beggar said, "I'm not a stranger. In fact, I'm your father's friend. He asked me to come to your house and take care of you while he's gone." Hearing this, the boy immediately opens the door and asks, "Really? Can I give you some food then?" The beggar nods. The boy runs into the kitchen and starts putting together a big basket of goodies for him. When everything was ready, the boy takes the basket to the beggar and says, "Here you go." "Thank you," the beggar says after looking at the basket's contents. "But where's the rest of the food? I'm hungry too." The boy replies innocently, "But this is all that Dad gave me to eat. I guess I'll have to go back to the store then and ask your dad for more food." The boy insists on accompanying the beggar to the store. On the way, he tells the beggar that his father was going to buy more food. So when they arrive at the store, the beggar goes up to the cashier and says, "Hello, Dad, I'm home." At first, the cashier doesn't say anything, but then he asks, "How are you, friend? Your son told me you were coming." The beggar smiles and replies, "Yes, he's a good boy, but now I'm really hungry and would like something to eat. Could you make me a sandwich, please?" The cashier goes over to the counter and starts making a sandwich for his supposed friend. The boy watches in astonishment as the cashier makes small talk with the beggar. It turns out he's not a bad guy after all, he thinks to himself. Then the boy asks the beggar, "Are you really friends with Dad?" "Of course I am. We met at one of your father's business meetings. By the way, how does your father treat you?" The boy shakes his head and replies, "He doesn't treat me very well. Sometimes he even scolds me for no reason." The beggar frowns and says, "That's because he has a lot of problems. It's not your fault. Don't worry. Someday you'll understand." The boy nods slowly, still thinking about what the beggar had said. Then they leave the store together. On the way home, the boy asks the beggar, Do you think Dad will ever change? Yes, but only if he wants to. If not, then he won't. No one can force him to be a better person. The beggar replies. Then they fall silent. The boy couldn't understand what the beggar meant. He thought that if his father didn't want to change, then there was nothing he could do about it. However, the beggar suddenly spoke up again and said, "Look, when you grow up, you must never forget two things. First, always remain kind and helpful. Never turn your back on anyone who needs your help. And second, remember that true wealth isn't measured by money or possessions, but by the richness of your soul. Never let material things define who you are. Keep these lessons in mind and you'll never go wrong in life." The boy nodded silently, promising to himself that he would never forget what the beggar had taught him. From that day on, the boy tried to be kinder and more helpful to others, no matter what his father said or did. The beggar's words stayed with him forever and became the guiding principles of his life. Before we start, do not forget to subscribe so you don't miss our new videos every day. Years passed, and the boy grew up into a kind and generous young man. Do you want to hear another story? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you next time.